Hey guys, this is my review of the new Zoids Wild Stylaser. Since this is basically just a Triceratogos with new armor, I'm just going to be focusing on what's different between the two. We'll do a parts comparison, check them out side by side, and then I'll show it to you in action. Let's check it out.
Robo Shop.
Alright, let's take a look at this. First of all, the box is really big. I just have to move the camera a little farther away from the desk, but I mean, that's always a good sign. We have a really awesome picture here on the front, as usual, like a destroyed cityscape in the back. Although I have to say, like, these buildings look a little, you know, Terran and oldie-timey for what this is supposed to be. It's a bit odd, but just I really like the camera angle on the Stylaser here and the weathering that's been done on the model. It's really cool. As per usual, I assume, yeah, on the side here, let me cut this open real quick. On the side, we have the usual depiction of, I'm not going to turn this around because I actually don't have enough space this way, but you can see here bone mode, regular mode, and machine blast mode, which doesn't look to be much different from the Triceratogos. On this side, there's just a picture. The other sides have the usual on them. Here we have this really cool like battle scene between Stylaser and what is either an upcoming new version of the Ganon toys or a custom. The spider diagram here of its capabilities is like good at everything. It's pretty cool. Yeah, and this, as usual, just to rub in the fact that that there's no kit specific upgrade parts. That reminds me, by the way, I do have those CP units. That's probably going to be the next thing I'm going to review for you guys. But anyway, let's take a look at what's in here, or actually how it compares to the Triceratogos, of course. That's what we all want to know. Instructions: A, S, B. Seem to recall there's supposed to be 2 gearboxes. Hold on. Yes, there are 2 gearboxes indeed. Hold on, I need to cut this. You guys having fun watching me do this? That is, if I didn't decide to edit it out after the fact. Alright. Gearbox, I mean, this is the gearbox that holds the motor. There's a second one, of course, which is right here. Do a little more slicer dicing. Here we go. Can I pull it out like that? I cannot. Man, I don't remember the Triceratogos being packed so tight, but anyway. Here it is. Also, before I toss it away, these kinds of sliding trays only really come with the biggest ones. Boom! The Brachiosaurus did. Anyway, I'm gonna put this stuff out of the way for a second because what I want to do next is we're gonna look at the instructions, more specifically the parts list, so that we can see what's new here. Also, this AVAC is taking up too much space. So, here we go. Triceratogos, Stylaser. Let's take a look. Here's the parts list for the Triceratogos. Here's the one for the Stylaser. And we have this is the gearbox For the machine blast mode, same thing, just different colors. A1, A2, A3, all this looks the same. Legs, hold on, A18. Let me take a look here. Oh yeah, they just rearranged them a bit, but this is the same. Tail, yeah, bone mode looks to be exactly the same, except of course these horn parts. This is the horns from the Triceratops. Those don't exist here. Instead we have these two little parts that have the same numbers. And also A26 on the Stylaser here. This is the gun that pokes out from the nose, of course, which is new. And the armor parts, those look to be all completely different. Plus these guns here, of course, but also the armor. Like even, I think this is the tail. The little ones on the side, the back, yeah, armor is completely different. Okay, so as per usual, we have the same bone structure, with the exception of the horns, and completely new armor, and of course different colors as well. All right, with that out of the way, now we know what we need to be looking at. Let's grab the A-back first. Here we go. Not that much in here that I need to show you guys. Let me do that with the crappy knife and not the fancy one where I only just switched to a new blade. Okay, this has some new stuff in it. I think the rest we're not terribly interested in. Unless you want to see the little two pieces that replace the horns. But to be perfectly honest, I don't think I'm going to go looking for those now. Alright, the legs, of course, are just a very different color. You remember the Stylaser, Triceratops is very red. This is a much more muted yellow color. Did I just say legs? I think I just called the feet legs, didn't I? And we got this, and most importantly, of course, we have the nose cannon. Oh, look at that. Cool. You can see here, this is actually a hollow barrel. This is all one piece. I mean, it does have a mold line on the top, but it's a hollow barrel that comes in one piece. That's cool. Don't see that too often. Alright, so let's take a look at the armor. Okay, seeing two different colors. I did not expect that, to be honest. Alright, so apparently, let's take a look at the yellow bits first. Apparently, the general sort of premise of the color scheme is that the feet and the weapons, such as these... Oh, wow. Yeah, these completely hollow missile launchers, but I mean, they're going to attach like this, obviously, because these pegs are going to have to be poking out, so you're not going to see this, but still, ouch. Anyway, I was going to say the weapons, obviously, including this one, and this, I think, is a gun. See, this is what I would have expected. Like, the barrel doesn't even have a stylized barrel hole, just nothing. There's 4 of these. Another one of these. Now I have to start that sentence again. The weapons are yellow, is what I meant to say. And the armor is tan. Yeah, looks a lot like, or a bit at least, like the cannonball. Very sort of angular. Definitely, like, screams tank. A lot of nice detail too. Rivets everywhere. I like rivets. I don't count them, but I do like them. This goes on the head, obviously, with the pre-painted visor here, which here is it's a bit off. Looks like Looks like if I had done the masking job here too, it's like about 0.5 millimeter off. I mean, it's not a big deal because it's sort of recessed and that's all in shadow anyway. And if I was going to paint this, I would probably do like a pin wash here, and then you wouldn't. I mean, then I'd have to paint over that, but you could fix that with a pin wash basically. These are, I think, like horns/cannons, also with very nice hollow barrels, incidentally. Yeah, more armor, all sort of course, with the same design cues. You know, these very angular looking panels. These, I guess these are supposed to be missiles. You'd have to paint those to really drive that point home. Yeah, that's it. Like I said, all the other bone parts are the same, so I won't bore you with those. I'm just going to get this guy assembled, and then we're going to check it out. Before we do that, though, here's a look at the sticker sheet. I can't believe I keep forgetting to do this in the unboxing, but yeah, anyway, it's a 2nd generation Zoids Wild sticker sheet, so it's got some really cool stuff on it. I also like how it seems to be arranged specifically to have a nice layout, which is completely pointless, but it's kind of cool. That warning stripe at the bottom, by the way, that needs to be cut to size if you want it to apply the way it's shown in the instructions, like the red stripes on the Beast Liger. I don't mind, but I still don't think it's particularly kit-friendly. Anyway, let's get to that comparison now. I don't feel like there's a whole lot I really need to say about this picture. As you can see, the Stylaser looks a lot more angular, it has a more muted color palette, and as a result mainly of those two things, I think, it looks a bit less cutesy than the Triceratodogos. Otherwise, the two are basically identical, but I'll show you this footage of it in motion anyway. Yeah, it just does the exact same thing as the Triceratodogos, but then again, I liked it the first time, and it works here too. So, I know a lot of you are probably getting sick of these retooled Zoids Wild models, and I agree it's not as exciting as proper new stuff. There's already 2 new versions of the Deathrex coming that are going to take up a ton of space on my shelf for no particularly good reason. But if the updates are superior to the original versions, it's hard to be too mad, and that's definitely the case here. I still think this thing has the proportions of a hedgehog that dressed up as a dinosaur for Halloween, but other than that, I definitely prefer it to the original, from the collar scheme to the more angular design. If you're not sure which one to get, it's really just down to your personal preference, but I know which I like better. And that's it for this one, folks. In case you're wondering, I know I announced in the last video that I'd be showing off the Maschinenkrieger build today, but then this came in during the week, and also I made the Maschinenkrieger thing for a competition, so maybe I'll wait until that wraps up and I know how I placed before I talk about it here. You can see it on my Instagram if you want, same username. It's also going to take me a while to put that video together, by the way, which may or may not be the real reason why it's not done yet. Anyway, I'm not going to make an announcement for the next video because I never seem to do what I thought I was going to do, and I'll just tell you to like and subscribe and check out my Patreon and all that, and I'll see you in the next one.